Item 3, public hearing. Turn it over to City Manager Ron Bernal.
Thank you, Mayor Wright and members of the City Council. This item is related to a budget item that we brought forward during the preparation of the budget, which provided consideration for adjusting the City Council salaries from a level that's been in effect for since 2007 to the current level. Our City Attorney, Thomas Smith, will conclude the presentation.
Thank you, City Manager and Mayor and City Council. So this item is on a City Council salary increase. The Antioch City Council salary was last adjusted approximately 13 years ago. September 12th, 2006 was the date, and that adjustment became effective in January 1st, 2007. And it was pursuant to ordinance number 1076C-S. Salary for City Council member was set at $941.20 per month. Just a little bit of background at that time by way of comparison. So in East Contra Costa County, the city of Antioch is the second largest city now. The first largest city at that point in time when the City Council salary here was $941. At that point in time was Concord, which had a salary of $1,300, which is approximately $358 higher. So Antioch's City Council salary is 27% lower than Concord at the time. And then I looked backwards, and in 2007, Richmond, which is the other city that is a comparable size to the city of Antioch now, had a City Council salary of $1,402.50 per month, which is Antioch was 32% lower than that at the time. So since that time, Concord's had an adjustment up again, and they're at $1,352. Richmond stayed where it is. But just a little historical context for that. So under state law, city councils can increase their salaries at a rate determined by a statutory formula, and it's either based on population or it can be based on a 5% a year increase that's not compounded. And so if you apply that rate to the current City Council salary over 13 years with no increase, then you would arrive at $1,600 roughly, and 4 cents to be exact. So that is the increase under consideration. The ordinance that's here does not become operative on this City Council that is currently sitting before you. So this ordinance, if it is to be adopted, will actually become operative when the next City Council is elected, and that's in congruency with the government code, which requires that while the City Council can raise its salary, it can't raise it for itself at the same term. It has to wait until the next election to actually take effect until those members are sworn in and operating in their position. So that is some background on this particular ordinance. And the second part, as I mentioned, with the last time the ordinance was in effect, we were in the bracket which the city of Antioch had was between 50 to 75,000 people, which is one bracket for salary. Now we are in the bracket between 75 to 150,000 people because of the growth in population, and I believe the city of Antioch is around 114 to 115,000 people now. So I will stop there. You know, it's been 13 years since the last increase in City Council salary. This is the first time it's come around, and I'll turn it over to you now.
Thank you. This is a public hearing, so I will open the public hearing portion of this. Are there any requests to speak from the public?
There are no requests to speak.
I will close the public hearing portion of this. This item is now before council. Questions or comments? Councilmember Thorpe.
Well, we had talked about this in the past, so I'm prepared to move forward. So I'd like to make a motion that the City Council introduce an ordinance of this, that we introduce an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Antioch amending Section 2-1 203 and 2-1.206 of the Antioch Municipal Code relating to city council salaries.
We have a motion by Councilmember Thorpe. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Motts. Discussion. Councilmember Orgorchock.
I appreciate the fact that it's been 13 years since this council, not just this council, but the previous councils had a raise. But, you know, listening to the conversations tonight and what's going on with the veterans community, and, you know, I'm sitting here looking at my police chief, and I'd like to see us fully staffed past the 115. I'd like to see us up to the numbers, 120, 125 officers for 115,000 people. I'd also like, since we listened to the presentation from the ad hoc committee for the homeless, we're thinking about the unhoused and funds there. I know it's not a lot of money, but at this time, I just personally can't pass something like this. I think the money could go someplace else.
Other comments, questions? If not, I will call for a vote.
This will be a roll call vote since it's an ordinance. Councilmember Wilson?
Yes.
Councilmember Thorpe?
Yes.
Councilmember Orgorchock?
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Motts?
Yes.
Mayor Wright?
Yes.
The ordinance passes, or excuse me, the first reading of the ordinance passes on a 4-1 vote with Councilmember Orgorchock voting in the negative. This will be continued to the September 10th council meeting for adoption.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 6, resolution authorizing